Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bill.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. All right. How is everything going? Is everyone safe, healthy? Anyone have anything they want to share?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Charleston.
Good
I
morning.
had the scare of my life on Sunday morning.
What happened?
My sister called and said, "Hey, mom is having chest pains and stomach ache and stuff like that." So she's diabetic, and apparently she had like a low sugar episode, and they had no idea. My parents had no idea that this is such a thing. There's such a thing. So on the phone, I'm thinking she has the coronavirus. So it was really scary. So it threw my whole day into a tailspin. But
Oh
there
my
was
gosh.
and then they live in New Jersey, so the 911 was not working. So we tried. My sister tried calling because she's like in South Jersey, and there was no 911. I had a couple of friends try calling 911 and they couldn't get through. And one of my friends has all these connections, and she was like, "Oh, I know a first responder." So she called a first responder, and they called my parents, and they got to the house, got her some sugar in her system, and everything was okay. But
Wow.
I'm trying to say this because my father was very good at not communicating properly. So he was like, "She's in pain," and she never said she was in pain. She just couldn't speak, and she couldn't move, and she was having. So we all were having a nervous breakdown. So I text all my siblings. We have a group text. I text all my siblings. Mom has the coronavirus. Da, 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 da. And then I had to take it back and say, "Oh, it's just low sugar." My brother was like, "Where'd you get this information?" I was like, "I'm talking to them right now, damn it." So,
That's proof that well, I'm glad she's okay, first of
yes,
all, but that's proof that if you are vague or unclear on communication,
yes.
all hell can break loose, right?
Oh my God, it was the most scariest thing ever because I've been trying to get my father a week ago called me like, "Oh, should I take my friend who I think has coronavirus to the doctor?" And I was like, "No, just let him get an Uber or let him call the ambulance." So, but
Oh my gosh. All right.
it was
Who else,
interesting.
who else has some news they want to share? One of our big assignments last week, remember, was to have 20 conversations. Did anyone tell me if you did it, or tell me if you attempted to do it, and maybe share some good news that came from that? Anyone create any nurtures or create any appointments?
I did. I reached out to someone I have a signed BBA with.
Okay.
I also have a exclusive listing agreement with him. But when all this COVID stuff was, going down, he said, "Oh, I'm an increased risk, and I'd rather, put a pause on it and whatever." And so I reached out to him last week. I got a lot of voicemails. I didn't call 20 people, but the people I did call, I pretty much got voicemails.
Okay.
He reached out to me Friday and said, "Oh, I just saw that there was a house. I'm sorry I missed your call. I just saw there was a house that hit the market." And I was like, "Oh, do you want to go see it?" And he's like, "No, let's wait." And I said, "Okay, no problem. When you're ready, hopefully it's still there." And then he texted me yesterday and he said, "I really want to go see this property. So we're going today at 4."
Nice. So you don't even have to bring up real estate for them to connect you and real estate.
Right.
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 All right. Congratulations on the new listing too, and almost a deal, or is it a deal yet?
It's not a deal. They have till, and thank you, they have till 6 tonight to respond. I will tell you that I got another offer this morning for $45,000 under list price, which is just bizarre. They said that with COVID going on, her clients really want to stay under the 500,000 mark. And it sounds to me like those people have a dream home they can't afford.
Right. There's good that can come from that. So the first thing that popped in my mind is, so you have a second offer that's really low, and even though it's a dreamer and somebody who might not be being realistic, it still gives you the negotiation power to potentially go back to the first one and say, hey, multiple offers.
Right.
Give me your
Right.
best shot. And then you clean up the contract a little bit. You might get rid of stuff like, home warranty and cut down on the closing costs a little bit and these kind of things. So a low offer could it's not terrible. It just is what it is. People are going to be fishing. The person that ultimately I went under contract with, I think, was fishing a little bit. And quite frankly, I don't blame him. And then as soon as I responded back, he came in at a more reasonable number, and now we have a deal, right?
Right.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Let's move on to talk about shift tactic 5 for a few minutes. I've got it in front of me. Who would like to start off by sharing some of their ahas?
One aha was the fact that you can lead generate, but if you don't set an appointment or convert that lead into an appointment, then it's for naught. So that was something that hit me kind of hard.
Yep, exactly. And one of the things that I really took out was everything is for the purpose of setting an appointment or getting more information from that person, right? So more information could be more data about their situation or their family or their goals. More information could be, hey, I no longer am going to be making a decision in June. I'm probably going to be making a decision in September. That's fine. Now I know how to tweak my my touch program to get you when I need to get you. To get you when you want to be gotten. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, who else?
I will. Action versus purpose. When it comes to lead generation, just realize that you're talking about two things, like Charles said, lead generating activities and lead converting to an appointment. That is what it's all about. And you can let a lead slip through the cracks and find out later that they used another agent just because you didn't reach back out to them. So
And if that ever happens, whose fault is that?
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the cultivate part, right?
That's well, yes, exactly.
Yep.
But it's not, as it says, many leads don't get cultivated in one conversation,
Yeah.
right? So if it takes, 12 conversations of, okay, well, can you send me this and I'll be ready in 3 months? And 3 months later they say, oh, things changed. Can you send me these 2 things and then I'll be ready in a month? And then you call them in a month and they got some other story, right? If you lose patience with that, or you forget to execute on a promise that you've made, then somebody else will be paid. Does that make sense? And so not only do you have to have the system in place to not miss any of those markers, but you also need to understand that some people just aren't ready at step 1, right? Okay, who else?
Getting to the kitchen table.
I was just going to say that.
Right.
No, I jumped in before you. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You can continue it then.
No, go for it.
Well, there's lots to talk about the kitchen table. We talked about how frequently you get there. They talked about which kitchen tables you're getting to, right? Are you getting to the people that have an actual desire to sell, or are you getting to the tables of the people who just kind of want a friend?
Yeah.
What did you learn there?
It's important to not only get to the kitchen table, but it's also get those qualifying questions across so you know more details on on the who, the what, the where, the why, and when and how they want to activate their
process.
Their process. So
right. So what about the decision continuum? Page 100 and page 100 to 102 is really good. So not only do you have the decision continuum where you have the firm no to the firm, absolute yes, I'm ready to meet and sign paperwork. But you have a lot of stuff in between. And as they're moving in between and going back and forth on that continuum, things are going to change and people could make mistakes, right? So for example, if they're courting some other agent and the agent makes a promise and they don't keep it, then all of a sudden it opens the door back for you, right? So until they sign paperwork, I'm aggressive as hell. When they sign paperwork, I'll back off. And then I'll let them know that I'm not backing off because I feel like backing off. I'm backing off because that's the right thing to do because they've agreed to work with somebody different. Right. What about the trial closes or I'm sorry, those 10 closes? I really like those, the examples of script or sentences at the bottom of page 101. Did you guys read through those?
Yeah.
What did you think of those? Have you ever, or in general, what did you think of those?
I think I'm 1 through 6, but I don't do 7.
I don't do 7 either.
Okay.
That's a little too hard for me.
Why is it so hard? Let's say it together. Say it to me.
Would you be offended if I asked if we could meet and go over this?
Not at all, Heather. I wouldn't be offended at all. Let's get together.
I feel like that's so like forward, and I realize I'm in sales, so I should be forward.
Okay, I got homework for you, Heather.
Yes.
You're gonna try that with somebody today. Just one person.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Who else likes these scripts or doesn't like these scripts?
I like 9 and 10. Would it make sense for us to meet in the next day or so, or what works better for you? You're tying it down to a time immediately.
Right. And what do they say? Like the worst thing that they're gonna say is, "I have no interest in meeting with you. Have a nice life."
Mhm.
To which you're going to say, "Also, have a wonderful life, sir." And then you're never going to think about that person again. Right? And literally, you could go to the store, not right now, but you could go to the store like 5 minutes later and be in front or behind them at the grocery store line and have no idea that's who that was. And they'll have no idea that was you. So what are you so afraid of? As a matter of fact, you could actually talk to that person 5 minutes later at the grocery store and strike up a conversation where it starts off differently, and you could probably get that piece of business. Okay, who else likes those? Who else sees one here that they've not tried or they've tried a variation of and they're excited to try it today? Should we do some energy work this morning?
Sure.
Stephanie, you want to lead us in some jumping jacks or something? Come
Are
on,
you
y'all.
serious?
No.
Uh,
All right.
I tend to use the soft close. It's more of like, that's just my personality. I don't do as much the hard close, but on page 99, one of the things that I liked was that people want to buy, but they hate to be sold.
Yes.
And that was, that's just like in my experience, what I've have noticed.
Yeah. I also like that quote on page 99. You can't serve them if you don't meet with them.
That's true.
Right? And if you don't serve them, you're definitely not going to ever see a closing table.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I also like this idea of setting up a meeting is your responsibility. Right? We used to have an old friend who said, which one did he? Number 6. He basically used number 6 with every line. And whatever they said, he would say, "Sounds like we should meet." Right? "Sounds like we should meet. I'm available most times this week. What works for you?" "Hey, it sounds like we should meet." Well, I got to sell my home first. Great. Sounds like we should meet. I got to fix up my home first. Oh, great. Sounds like we should meet. That was like the go-to, like instinctive. They could have said, blah, 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 blah. And they're, hey, sounds like we should meet. Just ask.
It's like an embedded command.
Yeah. It's if you say it properly.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. Who else wants to talk about chapter 5? Let's talk about Gary's box for 1 second. What I want you to think about, and I wish I could snap my finger and have all of you guys with a perfect CRM in command with appropriate ticklers set up and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to assume that that it's not perfect right now. And so what I think I'm going to encourage you guys to do, and I think it's reasonable to say, let's get this done this week as a deadline. I want you to make sure that you have some type of system in place where you can execute on every promise you make. So for example, if you say, I'm going to send you some comparables by tonight, and then call you on Tuesday and discuss them with you, when you get off the telephone, I need you to have a program or a system in place where there is no way that slips through the cracks. Okay? You're either writing it down somewhere that you look at every day, or you're telling somebody to remind you, or you're telling your calendar to remind you, or you've got a box like this that you look at each day to say, who am I supposed to reach out to today? Right? So Gary's box, he would say, okay, well, it's March, so I need to call this guy. And then he'd call this guy and they'd say, hey, just kidding, let's talk in April. And you put him in April. Or he'd say, hey, let's talk in 2 weeks. He'd put him in 2 weeks. And the only way that system was going to fail is if he didn't open the box that day. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I want to add that like Siri can set your reminders, and I
Oh,
use
yeah, that's a great idea.
long. I'm like, hey, Siri, set a reminder for whatever day of the week, whatever day of the week is, and then boom. And I little like neurotic, so I always remember to add it to my calendar too, but that's that reminder. So if I'm on the phone and I tell someone, I'll call you, if someone texts me and I say, oh, I'll call you at 1 o'clock, I'll immediately tell Siri, set a reminder to call Donna Roberts at 1 o'clock. Right. And then it pops up and she's always like, wow, you're always right on time. And I'm like, but it's Siri.
Hey, it doesn't matter if it's Siri or not, it's you. You have established a system with the help of whatever it is to make sure you're delivering on every promise that you make. So good for you, and people are taking notice. So good job. Okay, let me read you this. Lead cultivation, contacting leads that wouldn't originally set an appointment with you, is a vital part of your time-blocked lead generation time. Some of that time will be connecting and closing new leads you've just captured, and some of it will be cultivating those leads you've captured and connected with before. For this second group, you will need to constantly review and assess where your prospects are in the process, answer their current questions, and continue to close for an appointment. So one thing that I used to do was I had a big whiteboard, and I had it separated into a few different columns. And I had prospects, agreements, and active and pending. So basically all the people that I needed to kind of always be thinking about, right? If I found a home that I thought they might like, I'd pop it to them, or an article about something they mentioned, I'd pop it to them. People that I don't want to lose sight of, right? Then people that had agreed to work with me exclusively, then people that were currently under contract and we had some phase of the transaction management to deal with, right? A deadline or amendment or whatever. And then the people and what day they were closing. And then what that did is it not only helped me organize what needed to be organized, but it also identified to me when my pipeline was a little bare, right? And so if I went into my office one day and I didn't have a lot of people that had agreed to work with me exclusively, or I didn't have a lot of people that I was hoping to get to that stage within the next couple of months, then I knew I needed to hit the phones hard. Does that make sense? So what
Yes,
is the
but
visual?
That's
Pam?
that's what command is doing for us now, as long as we use it.
That's right. That's right. Whatever it takes. Like I mean, as we know, we're in command. But I still need that visual. And I want to see the names in writing. I want to be able to erase them and scratch them out and change them or add to them or whatever. So if you need that type of visual reminder, make it. You know, go out there and Jan?
One thing that Oscar uses, and it's really kind of brilliant, is he uses colored Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And he has a different color for each person, and as they go through the process, he changes their Post-it note and moves them over.
Yep. And sometimes he'll write like how much, what their price range is or what their expected commission is.
Yeah, just like the opportunities in command, but because it's right in front of him on a board with their name and the colored Post-it note, it just stands out. And he sees it all the time, all day, every day, because it's right in front of his face.
Now, who is that again?
That's Oscar Flores.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah. A lot of us used to use those systems. Those are great ideas. Okay. I spent probably more time than I needed to on the email yesterday. I hope everyone was impressed with that thing.
It was big.
Yes. Does anyone have any feedback for me? Was it helpful?
Okay, I haven't reported my numbers yet because I couldn't find the form.
Yeah, let me talk about that. So basically, the old way of doing it, okay, I need those numbers through the end of March. So if you've not given me those numbers the old way through the end of March, please do. If you are new to the program and you weren't in the program prior to the end of March, don't worry about it. If you're in the program and you have not reported your numbers through the end of March, do it the old way. The spreadsheet that I sent out, the new one, that ends on the 8th. So don't worry about sending me your numbers on that for a couple of days, okay?
Okay. But what about the numbers from March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th? April.
That will be April 1st through April 8th. That'll be what you turn in to me in a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today I have a meeting where I've got to report all my March numbers, and I'm just setting up the new system to keep track of everything in April.
Okay.
So the link that has all the names, that will be due on April 8th. Okay. Okay.
So it says we have to request access to edit.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. And in the meantime, request access and I'll give it to you. I also spent, I've had this idea for forever, and I finally got it done yesterday, which was like, it's totally nerded out, but it's like every model and like has all of the, like if you tell me like 2 or 3 numbers about your business, I can tell you, I can fill out all the models now for you. So that'll be really good with our one-on-one coaching sessions. It'll save us a lot of time. There's a couple little tweaks I still have to do, and then I'll put it in the page for everyone, okay? Don't make fun of me. I know it's a little nerdy, but I like that stuff. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
How often are we doing one-on-ones? Like, do we reschedule another one if we just did one last week?
My idea for that is at least once a month. Okay. But right now, as we're all building our like 135s and getting our plans down, I'm fine with a little bit more often. So let's say like probably no more than like once every 2 weeks, because I just have so many of you guys. But if I've given you some homework and you just need to like turn it in and get some feedback, just send it. And if we need to spend half an hour on the phone going through some stuff, that's fine. But the goals of those meetings will be kind of a discussion on the numbers and on the plan, but I want you to have the time to set up the plan. So don't wait like another month to give me the next version of your 135. Just send it over. I'll take a look at it and we can go from there. Okay. I also sent my 411. I also sent my there was about 6 or 7 different scripts from the pivot group that are situations that we're all dealing with right now. Like, I want to pull my home off the market, or I don't want to buy because of COVID, or whatever it is. So please take a moment to review those as well. Did anyone else have any questions from the email? You might be on mute. Anyone have any questions from the email?
Admittedly, I haven't checked yet.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm sorry. I just like really indulged in my family this weekend.
Well, you will be really impressed when you look at it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Well, it's better than getting multiple emails.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I want you to study those scripts that I sent, particularly the ones around the pivot. And I'd like to continue the daily intention of having 20 real estate conversations with people that you either know or do not know. Okay.
I want to add something really quick. Friday, I did a Zoom call, like cocktails with ladies in real estate. And they were all from North Atlanta, where I used to be. But one of their top performers, Jennifer Martin, she's like the expired queen.
Yeah.
And so we were talking, and she was saying, hey, have you guys noticed how many expireds have hit FMLS? And I was like, yeah, I did. I'm like, I just don't know if it's appropriate to call. And she was like, if you're not calling, someone else is. And so that is going to be something I'll be doing today.
So do you think, let's do a little mind exercise really fast. Somebody has their home on the market for probably at least 3 months and the home expires.
Uh-huh.
What do you think the attitude of that seller is? Do you think they, A, decide they never wanted to sell it in the first place and just move on with their life with a smile and stay in the house that they had on the market for the last 3 months? Or B, do you think that they're searching the world far and wide for somebody to actually get the job done?
Oh, I think they're looking for someone to get the job done. And just, I guess, conversation would then turn into like, are you willing to do showings? Now I can send my virtual tours. Like, this is what I can offer.
Right.
Kind of thing. So on Friday, I didn't have that yet, right? I didn't do it until Sunday.
Remember, this goes back to what we talked about the other day, which is it's not about you, it's about them. They have a goal to help sell the home. They have a goal to sell the home, and that happens to be the business that you're in. And you have a lot of great tools and scripts and community and technology, and you're a really hard worker, full of integrity. You might be able to be the match for them. Mm-hmm. So it's not salesy. They're the ones that told you they want to sell. You're just offering your assistance and checking in to see how they want that process to look. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if that thought comes into your head, talk a little bit about think about it through their eyes, which is, I need a caring, thoughtful, full-time, agent to just hop right in there and help me sell this thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So don't think about yourself, think about them. Come from contribution and you won't worry about those questions. Okay.
The other thing, Bill, that I have found that's really helped me is to have how I am marketing to these properties right now in the here and now has really been helping me. People are really impressed with that I can go to it, I can send it to them in writing in 2 minutes. It's not off the cuff, it's because I thought about it, it's thoughtful and purposeful. This is how, we're going to sign a long listing agreement, because I can't guarantee I can get it sold in this marketplace, but I can guarantee that I'm spending money advertising it, I'm putting it out there, and if anybody can get it sold, I will.
That's right. And that comes, like, we posted a couple of examples, like from Andy's team and a couple of others, where it's just like a one-pager on, this is how we can do virtual showings and virtual appointments and virtual buyer presentations and virtual listing appointments. And it has like those cute little icons, and it's short and sweet. And that's the thing where you say, oh my gosh, there's like, you could do stuff right now. And you're like, yeah, absolutely. We could do virtual showings, blah, 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 blah. I've got a neat little flyer. Let me send that to you. What's your email address? Right. Again, you're extracting information from them. So like Jan said, it's not only having an awareness that you can do those things, it's having spent 10 minutes to build a little flyer to say, yeah, I'm prepared and I'm ready. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do a little, just a really quick calendar review. So today, it is Passover at the end of this week and the middle of next week. So I'm going to be out on Thursday and Friday, the 9th and 10th. And then again on the 15th and 16th, I've got one leader running those calls each of those 4 days in the morning. So nothing will change. And I'll come up with some kind of a cute little contest or something or another that you guys can be working on where, you're spending a good amount of time lead generating that day. And I know Friday's Good Friday, so if you're off, that obviously that's fine. Today, Kathy and Jan, we have little calls, and then we have our group call at 2, and then PC coffee with me at 3. And then also today in the email, we sent out a message about the Shift Book Club that is starting today. So that is 4 to 5 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays until the book is over. And today is Tactic 1, so we're a little ahead of them on our calls. But shift tactic number 1 will be discussed today, and there'll probably be like a ALC member, a top performer, leading through GLG that'll be leading those calls. And I sent the Zoom link as well as the schedule on the email yesterday. And then lastly, we have Brooke Woolley is going to be doing a crash course in social media, and that is from 12 to 1 on Wednesday. 12 to 1 on Wednesday. And then on Tuesday, I'm just trying to cram everything in because I'm out 2 days, but we're going to do the 3 masterminds: launch at 9:30, emerging at 10, and growth at 10:30. Launch again is 0 to 3 units, emerging is 4 to 10, growth is 11 and up. I'd rather have you than not have you because of a scheduling issue with your group. So whatever you're able to attend would be phenomenal. Okay.
Hey, Bill, you sent out that link to add the new calendar.
That did not work, did it?
No, it didn't. Would you email that link maybe?
Yes, I did do that actually.
I got it to work, but I had to be I was logged into my calendar myself when I clicked on the link.
So I did it one way with my wife and it did not work. And then the way I did do it, it did work. So Heather, you have to be logged into your calendar in order to
logged into my calendar on my desktop actually. And when I clicked on the link, that way it worked. It didn't work from my phone.
So it's not, and once it's on there, it's on there.
Right.
So let me know if you have any challenges with that. But if you could log in using a desktop and then just add the calendar, and then you can click it so it always appears. You can click it where it never appears. But that is kind of, I've got that starting April 20th, just because the next 2 weeks are a little strange with the schedule. But after the 20th or starting the 20th, we'll have a much, much more consistent calendar. Okay.
So you said you emailed that link out?
I emailed, I basically invited you to the calendar.
I got it via text, I think, right?
No, email.
No, email.
Okay, I'll find it then. All right, thank you.
All right, let me know if you have any questions. You guys have an awesome day. And don't forget, if you have not finished reporting your March numbers, do that through the old link. And go find yourself 20 real estate conversations today. Kathy, you have something?
Yes. The other day we talked about staying on here
Yes.
and lead generating.
So to be perfectly honest, I can do that. Actually, why don't we do that? Let's do that. Kathy, you wanna start with some script practice and role play work, and I will hop on my cell phone to do the leadership call, and I will be back soon.
The calendar link was sent out at 12:03 p.m. yesterday.
12:03. Thank you, Heather.
Okay, who wants to?
I did find it just now. It says, and this may just be me, it just says that I don't have authorization for that.
Is that for the calendar or that reporting page?
For the calendar.
Do you use Google Calendar?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I don't have access to the PC coach's calendar.
Who wants to read?
I didn't have access to it until I signed into my Google Calendar on my desktop, and then I had access.
I wonder if I have. Okay.
So I went into my Keller Williams platform, and within that Google portion of it, I clicked on the calendar. Once I had my calendar open, then I was able to add it. I don't know if that'll help.
Okay, who wants to role play?
Yes, it doesn't.
Script practice.
Okay, thank you.
Who wants to be a seller, or who wants to be an agent?
I'll role play with you because I need the practice.
Okay, so you're going to be a seller, an expired listing.
I'll be a seller. You're calling me to get the
You're an
listing.
expired listing. Okay,
Thanks.
I hear a truck.
I know. That's why I said let me put my
Oh, okay.
Yep, I just hopped on.
Okay. So you're gonna give me 3 objections, and then you're gonna let me get an appointment. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Kathy Ray with Keller Williams. Thank you for taking my call. Is this the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yeah. How can I help you?
I understand that you've probably been getting a lot of calls this morning since your home expired. It came off the market in our FMLS system. Are you still interested in selling your home?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now what I'm going to do. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Why are you calling?
Well, I'm calling to see if your home was still available to sell.
Yeah, it is. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do right now with all this going on. I think I might take it off the market.
Okay. Well, where were you going to move?
Well, does it really matter? Because I'm thinking about taking it off the market anyway because of COVID. So at the time, I'm not really going to go anywhere.
I can appreciate that. But there was a purpose that you were going to sell your house, and I was just wondering if I could help you get to where you wanted to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I was thinking about, just moving into another subdivision. I wanted to downsize.
Okay. And is there a particular, what you said, there's a particular subdivision. Is it closer to family? What would that do for you to get into that subdivision?
Yeah, it's closer to family.
Okay, that's great. I would love to be closer to my family. If I could show you that I could get your house sold, I know you're discouraged because it's probably been a real hassle for you these last 6 months. And typically a house will sell within 6 months. If I could show you a way that I could get you into that next subdivision, would you be interested in meeting with me? We could do it over a Zoom call. I could show you how we could get your home sold and get you where you want to go.
No, I think I'm just going to take it off the market. I mean, all of this stuff has just got me a little freaky. I don't want people traveling through my house either. So I think I'm just going to wait till this dies down before I do anything.
Okay. I understand that fear. There are a lot of homes going under contract right now that have been, buyers haven't even been in the house. We've done everything with virtual showings.
Oh, really?
Yes. Would you be interested in seeing how that works?
So you're still showing homes now?
We are. Virtual showings, yes.
Oh.
Would you be interested in having a Zoom call this afternoon at 2:00 so that I can show you how we could do this for you and help you get your home sold?
Yeah, I think that would work if you can do it virtually, because I really don't want anybody in my house right now.
Okay, well, let's do that. I will, if we needed to get a photographer in there who takes all the necessary precautions, would you allow that? That would be necessary to get your home sold.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
still not sure I want to sell my home. I just want to see what you're talking about for the virtual tours.
Well, I'm going to send you a link. If you'll give me your email address, I find it's better to do it on your computer rather than over the phone. If you'll send me your email address, if you'll give me your email address, I'll give you a link via email to meet me in the Zoom room at 2 o'clock.
Okay, will do.
Okay, and tell me your name again.
It's Alicia.
Okay, Alicia.
My
Okay.
email address is 123mickeymouse@kw.com.
Okay, that's great. Alicia, I'm going to send you a link in just a few minutes. And if you'll confirm through the email that you received it, I will see you at 2 o'clock.
Okay, see you then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Kathy, I have one question.
Okay.
What would you have done if she had said no to allowing a photographer in there? I'm just thinking maybe that would have been a conversation to have once you're on the Zoom call.
Yeah, I would, I just wanted to throw that out to her at the moment. But if and that's because I didn't have a script in front of me because I haven't looked at those pivot
Well, you
scripts.
did great.
Well, thanks. You did a great job with your with your objections, your pushback.
That's what I'm getting on the phone all the time. So it was good to hear how you are overcoming them. So yeah, I get like, no, I don't want anybody in my house. No, I'm going to take my home off the market. No, I want to think about it. All of those objectives are what keeps coming at me. So you were helpful.
Okay.
I have one question for you, for everyone on the call. So what if you call and there's like, this is my 38th realtor call they need.
Yeah, I usually apologize to them because I can imagine what they're getting. So I always say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're getting all these calls. I understand. And then I try to go into it. Once you apologize and acknowledge they seem to be okay, sometimes I just still want to hang up the phone.
And a lot of times if you use humor, say, do you know what? There are 10,000 agents in the metro Atlanta area, and you've only received 38 phone calls. Somebody's not doing their job.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Me too.
Just disarm them. When you could throw something at them like that, they'll go, this person is, is crazy or whatever,
It's kind of a pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
And I think Marie Burgess has used one of saying, really, do you need me to bring you a shovel for the realtor graveyard in your backyard?
Sounds like Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that because I kept getting that on, I made some calls on Saturday morning with FISBOs, and man, it was like, everybody was like, yo, this is my 38th call. I was like, hey, what do I say? But I still continue to see if I can get some values and get some appointments. And the one lady asked me for just email her some stuff. So I did that. So I'm going to follow up with her today to see if I can get that appointment. So.
But right now, the sell-by owners are the ones that need us the most.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just in the cultivating and nurturing stage now with a lot of these FISBOs. So we'll see how it works out.
Okay. So anybody else want to script practice, role play?
So how do you overcome if they say they want to continue to try to sell it themselves? What's your take on that one? Because when I do FISBOs, they'll say, oh, I want to try to sell it myself. I'm going to think about it. I'll try. Sometimes I'll say, well, I know you want to try to sell it yourself. How long are you going to try to sell it for yourself? But I'm just curious as to what everyone else is thinking and how they overcome that objective.
I don't know. I mean, I need to go look at those pivot scripts because, how long have you been trying to sell it yourself? And, the shift in the market is really going to take a professional now to sell it.
Kathy Ray, that's a great idea. And, I would reiterate how many realtors have access to the MLS and are specifically looking for their clients versus somebody trying to find it on Zillow?
Yeah.
Well, I can say that last week, a couple of weeks ago, I took my clients to see a for sale by owner home that they were interested in. And the seller, someone was hosting an open house for him, and the seller was there. And so he and I were talking at the end of the driveway while my clients were in their car discussing, whether they liked the house or not. And I gave the seller my card, and he's called me twice. Last week we spoke, and one of the conversations that we had is, so he paid to list it on GMLS, and it's linking a Colorado agent to his listing. So now he's not getting any of the calls because people think this agent is listing it. But furthermore, one of the conversations that after we hung up and I spoke to him a bit, and then I texted him about 2 hours later and I said, hey, Daryl, I think you need to call, let's talk at 4 o'clock today. So we did. And I said to him, like, how long do you want to continue to go down the path of not getting anyone to purchase your home? I had already done a CMA for him. He's way overpriced. He didn't like the numbers that I gave him. But I said, that's the market data. And that's the reason that your house is sitting on the market. And so, I asked him, like, would you be okay walking away with X amount of money? And he was like, well, not really. And I said, but you're not okay with spending almost $11,000 a month either supporting this property. Because he told me that, like, oh, it's cost me almost 11 grand a month. And I'm like, you're not okay with that. So how many more months are you willing to come out of pocket? And you're going to be at a complete loss.
Right.
And I tried to, convince him. He's so hell-bent on like paying the extra 3% because he'll honor
commission.
Yeah, he'll honor 3% on the buyer side, but he doesn't want to. And so I said, so you're willing to pay someone to negotiate against you, but you're not willing to pay someone to negotiate for you.
Right.
And he was like, that's so much good information. He was like, but I still think I'm going to wait one or two more weeks. And I said, you're doing a huge disservice. I'll check in with you in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. And so that's where he was just so adamant about, like, I don't want to spend all this money, but he's constantly still spending money.
Yeah, wholesale buy owners can be a little challenging because they really want to try to sell it themselves for the most part. But you will get it eventually.
And I personally don't intentionally pursue them because I find them to be rather difficult. And I just don't want to deal with it. But, he keeps calling me. So I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity. And it's also a way for me to build a skill set, with a group that I don't typically chase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else want to?
I feel like a lot of for sale by owners are, they're kind of do-it-yourselfers. And so giving them the recognition, hey, I can tell you're a really capable person and you can do so many things and we all have skill sets. And if we know what their job is, say, I'm sure that when when you do this, you're an expert in your field and I'm an expert in my field and I would love to be able to help you with this, especially now when everything is going virtual and I have all of these tools in my toolkit that aren't available to you. And I have them not only because I'm a trained agent, but because my agency is backing me up and providing these tools for me that would be an additional expense for you, or you'd have this additional learning curve to be able to get it out there. So I can do this for you really quickly in a time where it's uncertain.
That's good.
It's showing value. That is good.
Okay, so he had talked the other day, on Friday, he had talked about leaving the room open for us to generate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But putting ourselves on mute.
Yes.
So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start. It's 9:19. We've had some good discussions and I think we need to get to work.
Yeah, I'll just put the chat up. So
I'm going to put you guys on mute, but I have to negotiate this contract because I just got the other offer, so I'll be
Well,
back.
congratulations to you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So excited. I'll be back.
All right.
9333134.
can't hear anything. Hello.
Heather, everyone's on mute.
Thank you. I wasn't sure because I kept seeing Bill's screen highlighted and Kathy talking, but I didn't see her phone and I was really confused. Thank you.
Do you want me to do this, Bill, and put us in another account? I can't hear you.
If you could post your link and everyone can go to that room instead,
Okay,
that'd be great. Sorry for that.
that's okay. So you want to just shut this out now?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, you can post it in here first if you want.
Oh, okay. Let me figure out how to do this.
Just do it like either your meeting ID or your link.
Okay, I did it. I'm going to get off this one.
All right, have a great day, everyone. I'll see you at 12.